Hello my friends, it's 2 weeks until Christmas and I have some catch-up reading to do. Oh my god, look, it looks like I'm wearing like a crown. Sorry. Let's talk about what I'm reading this week. My channel members so kindly chose the theme of this vlog, which is going to be series and books that I'm reading, authors I'm reading for a second time. I'll explain. Let's come down here. In my first vlog, I showed you a whole stack of books that I wanted to get to by the end of the year, and they were a total mix of genres and vibes. And I ended up reading a lot of YA in the first episode, especially contemporary. And then I figured I'll theme the rest of them. So I know I have a whole stack of like spooky horror mystery type stuff that I also want to get to. And in the vote, people were saying that they wanted me to do that last because it'll give me a bigger break between the horror video I just did and that video, which I think is smart, so thank you very much. And then the rest of them I've just kind of lumped together as mostly series, but also it's just this idea that I'm reading authors again, and if we're looking at books that I think could potentially be favorites, I have to look at authors and books that I've included as favorites before. So I know that I've started quite a few series, and if you look at my TBR closet, I have some sequels that I know people want me to read. So no matter what, somebody's going to be disappointed by something that I pick. But these are all books that I'm like excited to read. So I hope that you'll be excited with me. So the first one is something I absolutely refuse to end the year without completing, and that is the Song of Wraiths and Ruins series. These naked hardcovers spines are just so pretty. This is called A Psalm of Storms and Silence by Roseanne A. Brown. It was one of my favorite books of last year. Not in my top 10, but I did this series of 6 photos, each featuring 6 different books in different categories. Just because there are certain books that I want to feature and are amazing, but like wouldn't ever make it in a favorites list. Like mystery thriller often doesn't make it there, YA contemporary doesn't make it there, anthologies often don't make it there. But the first book in this series made it into my fantasy list. And over the last day and a bit, I got to the halfway point of this. I am listening to the audiobook of this in tandem with reading it physically, and I don't love it as much as the first one, but we'll see where it goes. In this story, we're following Malik and Karina, and there's like royalty and castes and magic. Next up, I really just want to read Dune Messiah. I want to not complete the Dune series, but this book is so closely tied to the first book that it feels like it should be like one big book. I just want to wrap up my thoughts on this overall story, so hopefully that's a thing that I will do. Next up, I have started and DNF'd Black Sun like 3 times this year. I can't explain why. I just really need to get past like the 100-page mark and commit myself to this story because I think I could really love it. I don't know what's stopping me, and this is going to be my push to complete it this year. This is my second time reading Rebecca Roanhorse. Trail of Lightning was like a 4-star, really enjoyable read for me. And as far as reading authors for the second time, 2 2021 releases that I really wanted to get to, who are from authors that I've read from once before and loved, are Darcy Little Badger and Today Thompson. Elatsoe was again another favorite fantasy, and The Murders of Molly Southbourne was one of my favorite ones that like didn't fit into a category. Technically it's sci-fi, but I didn't have enough sci-fi last year to make it an entire like grouping, so I made the grouping just like other things that didn't fit into the rest. I forget what it's called. My mom has it. I have to go pick it up this weekend. I think it's called The Light Beyond Heaven or something like that. I'm interested to see if I can enjoy a longer length book from him. And then I have A Snake Falls to Earth, which I just have very high hopes for, even though I don't remember what it's about. I also didn't talk to you about the fact that throughout all 3 of these vlogs, I'm also reading Feminist Theory. I'm reading it in little chapter segments. I have for technically months, I guess, and I do want to wrap this up within these vlogs, so hopefully I'll just check in with you like once or twice about this one, because this obviously doesn't fit into any of my other categories. It's the only nonfiction that I definitely want to finish by the end of the year, and that's where I'm at. There's the intro. Our whole family woke up feeling a little bit under the weather today, so I don't think we're going to be doing much of anything this weekend. I'm going to be lying around reading a lot, so feel good about the likelihood that I will get through all of these things. Liam and I are building a gingerbread house today. So Hold it there. Don't move. Continue to not move. Don't move. Whatever you do, don't friggin' move. Good. Trip on the door. Wow, we really put this on crooked. What's wrong with us? Why don't you get a little bowl?
Wiggle, wiggle.
We'll get a little bowl. Maybe 2 bowls. This is me trying to get into the house, but I forgot my key, so I can't go in.
Me over here.
You can't get attached to the house.
I take myself to the house.
Man, that's where the candy.
Wait,
I really like your roof.
I tape myself to the house.
Okay, well that's a little weird. Oh my god! We should put Rob on the roof.
Yeah, right.
What color do you think Rob should be?
Blue.
Oh my god! His head fell off. He's gonna be so impressed when he wakes up from his nap. You put this roof on upside down. Liam?
I got on my hands. I'm allowed to eat if I accidentally get on my hands.
Oh, me too. Whoops.
Oops.
Look, they have a wreath on the front.
How did they make that?
Oh my god, you're doing such a good job. It's snowing.
No.
It's a winter wonderland. Okay, show them our final work.
Oh no. Here we go.
You can rate us. Can you tell by my braids that I took a nap? And now it's late at night and I'm not tired. Actually, we all took naps today, so feeling better, I think. Not feeling better about my read. This isn't going well for me. I'm almost done. And I don't even want to finish it. I thought this is a duology. It's going to be just as strong as the first book. I don't have to commit myself to 3 books, 7 books, 10 books. It's just going to wrap up in 2 and I'm going to love it. The plot twist of the year, truly. The first one was so fun to me because there was like a competition kind of involved. Basically the whole story, oh god, how do I sum up the whole story? We have a girl and a guy. She's royalty, he's not, and they both want to kill each other. That's their goal in the entire book. She has to kill him to resurrect her mother, and his sister has been kidnapped and he has to kill her to get her back. There's magic involved, there's spirits involved, there's resurrection involved, and there's just a hint of a romance. It's not like a big fantasy romance, and I feel like I remember her even saying that this book, she didn't want romance to be in this book at all, and then throughout edits or something they ended up having a romance. So the romance in the first book isn't the central focus, but there is enough of it to keep you interested if you need that to love a fantasy series. But then this book, I don't know, it almost leans too heavily into the romance, but it's more just pining, but not in a way that I really enjoy. And also the characters are super annoying to read. And now I don't know if it's just been so long since I read the first one, but I feel like their voices are different because I didn't find them challenging to read the first time, but I'm just exhausted. These are exhausting points of view. They're constantly talking about the same thing, thinking the same thing. There's just so many side characters that I don't care about. And I can't, were there this many people in the first book? Were there so many things distracting me from the main plot that I actually cared about? I don't know. I'm not having a great time. What I will say is the atmosphere is still absolutely phenomenal. The world building, the magic, all of the names and all of the concepts going on, I really love. But there's something about these 2 main characters that I'm struggling with. So I was trying to wrap it up and then I would reward myself by watching a movie, but I really just need a break and I need to experience a true hate to love story. So I'm gonna watch The Hating Game. I know I put it on Instagram and you guys told me that I'm not gonna like it, but I feel like I want to watch it more now that you're telling me not to. I haven't read the book. I would never read the book, but I like a rom-com, and I think that you think that I don't like romance because I don't like romance books. And I've seen some people put out videos today, like Chandler and Noelle reacting to the movie, and I want to be able to watch it with some context. I don't actually even know the storyline. I think there's two characters. Did I watch the trailer? I don't think so. Two characters, they work together, and they hate each other. And then eventually they don't. Maybe I will hate it, but Rob and I need to hang out and watch a movie, so we might as well make it that one. And also, I was just thinking, speaking of Chandler, Zoe and Spencer have a readathon going on right now called the Merry and Bright Readathon. It just started. It's happening the entire week that I am reading for this vlog. So I thought I would look at the challenges because I remember vaguely there being a hate to love prompt, but that's the only one that I remember. I'm gonna look up all the prompts and see if we're hitting all of them. I'm not officially, like I always do this, I've done this like 4 or 5 times this year, where I'm like not really participating in a readathon, but I like to see if I'm hitting the challenges anyway, and then I like to pretend that I'm participating in the readathon. So we've got a book with white on the cover. No. Snake Falls to Earth has white. The second prompt is something with cozy vibes. Well, I won't know that until I read all of the books. Can I weirdly say that Dune gives me cozy vibes? But maybe a Snake Falls to Earth will have cozy vibes. We'll find out. Something you already owned is a prompt, which is all of them. Purchased last year and never read. Okay, well now I have to read Black Sun because that's the only one that counts for that. Enemies to lovers or unreliable narrator. This is definitely enemies to lovers. Oh, dual perspective is the last one. And this is dual perspective. I'm participating in the readathon. Okay, that movie was very cute. A little stupid, but cute. Without knowing a single thing about the plot, Rob and I predicted like the entire movie, every single thing that was gonna happen, except for we both thought that Smurfs were gonna play a bigger role. Like he was gonna like gift her like a rare Smurf that she couldn't find or something. Also, I don't know about, what was his name? Danny in the book, but I loved him. Like I was rooting for him. I liked him better. Though I will say, 2 shocking moments, one at the wedding and one with the wall color. And I wonder if that's in the book because that's adorable. And very weird because I'm gonna spoil it, so if you haven't seen it, seriously don't watch this because it's a cute like little reveal moment. But it's funny because just a couple weeks ago, I changed the background color of my phone, my lock screen, to be Rob's eye color. And that's what happened in the movie, is he had painted his apartment the color of her eyes, which is creepy and adorable. But we love a silly rom-com, and it was a nice like seasonal little bit of Christmas stuff. So that was a good time. I'm not gonna finish my book tonight. I'm gonna do it tomorrow and then move on to something else. Didn't see you there. That, ladies and gentlemen, is called acting. I did see you. I'm taking some pictures for my Instagram. I don't think I have anything on my TBR shelf that's the Pantone color of the year, but I do have some of these, so I'm taking a picture. The Pantone color of the year is kind of like my phone case color. No, it's not. It's more blue. Also, my phone case is covered in paint. If you know, you know. In theory, I love a duology because you know how I feel about series. Sorry, I'm just gonna edit my photo while I talk to you. I'm not always down to invest my time into a trilogy, a big series. So duologies seem like they're the perfect solution for me. But more often than not, I find the second book to be kind of a flop. So A Song of Wraiths and Ruin was a 5-star for me. And I think this has to be, because of the ending and how much I respect the ending, let's say a 2.75. That last 10% was quite good. And the first 20% was good. I feel like it did a great job of re-explaining what needed to be explained, but didn't waste too much time. But what I feel like happens with these books, another example, Dare Mighty Things. Another example, The Wrath and the Dawn. Another example, The Girl from Everywhere. I think I gave all of their second books 3 stars. The only exception is Six of Crows, but even then I gave this 4 stars. But they all fit into this idea that I feel like the conversation at the publisher goes like, hi, I'm an author. I want to write a fantasy standalone, but it's really big. It's like 600 pages. please let me publish this book. And the publisher is like, no, you know what we should do? We should make it into a trilogy because everything's a trilogy and everyone loves trilogies. And the author's like, I do not have enough content for a trilogy. So let's meet in the middle. This is my imaginary conversation that happens, and I'll make it a duology. And basically what they do is they just take that last 200 pages of the first book, put it into a second book, and then add 100 pages or 200 pages of fluff that they didn't intend to be a part of the original story, but they need to fill pages. That's just how it feels to me. Almost all the time when I read a duology. It feels like something that wasn't intended to be a duology. But as someone who can't commit to a series longer than 2 books, I love the idea of a duology. But as I was looking at my bookshelves, I made this realization that I don't think I love duologies. I think what I love is companion books. So like we're in the same world, there are references or little moments where we see the characters in the first book, but they're their own story with their own characters. This is contemporary, so it's different, but like, this is great. There's some familiarity with the setting, with the characters, but they're 2 different time periods and we have different main characters, which is why I probably should have picked up A Chorus Rises or A Chorus Also Rises. I don't remember the name. So I actually just placed an order like this week to get this book. I probably won't be able to read it by the end of the year, but I should have read this book because that's what that is. This is why I'm so excited about the Middle Game sequel, because I think there is meant to be more books in the series, but we're not following the same characters in the sequel, and I think I'm gonna love that. Then I was standing there thinking, there are so many books that I would love a companion story to. Like The Wise and the Wicked, I don't want a sequel, I want a companion. When a book so well develops a world and a setting, I want to continue to be there, but not like in the same time period with the same characters. Like, give me this 50 years in the past. I would read the shit out of a companion to the Wild Ones. Same with Alatsaway. Part of me wonders if A Snake Falls to Earth exists in this world, and I'm gonna get that. But like, I love this world. Same thing with Catherine House. It's such a distinct setting that I would like to go back there. Give me the origin story. Give me the origin story of the afterlife of Holly Chase. Give me Sawkill Girls at a different time with different characters, but dealing with the same weirdness. That's what I need more of in my life. If you can think of any 2-book experiences like that that you love, I would really appreciate some recommendations. These covers still remain some of my favorites, and I really liked the audiobook narrators. Bonnie Turpin remains one of my absolute favorites. I wish she was in it more though. Something that's cool about this duology is that there's like, we have those 2 POVs, but then there's also this other narrator that's like kind of telling us a bedtime story, and it's fun and it's cute, and I think it's generally well written. I just don't think the plot is there. But it's so tough because I know that I wouldn't have picked this up if it was like a 700-page fantasy novel. So it being a duology is smart. I just feel like the ending was strong and really well thought out, but there was a lot of filler stuff that I didn't really enjoy. I'm not sure what I'm gonna read next. Rob and Liam are out right now doing Christmas shopping, and I wasn't invited. Right now I'm just catching up on Vlogmas content because there's so much. People are putting out such great things that I'm really enjoying watching. So I'll probably see you late tonight. Reading update. My mom didn't like it, so that's a bummer. I am 60 pages in, and I don't know how I feel yet. I really was not willing to DNF any books during these vlogs, because like, even if I don't like these books, like they're ones that I wanted to finish, and I'm not gonna have any more motivation to read this book ever than I do right now. I'm gonna give it 100 pages. I feel very similarly as how I felt when I was reading A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, which I've DNF'd 3 times. I know that I've said, my mom even said, she called me up, she was like, I thought you didn't like space books set in space. And I do. My favorite space books don't get too spacey. I don't feel like this is gonna get wildly spacey. Like alien, like other planet, like really craziness. We're on a spaceship, and we have like a classic setup of a woman awaking and the rest of her like space mates are not awake yet. The synopsis says, first mate Michelle Campion rouses, she discovers some of the sleepers will never wake. And I feel like that doesn't fully cover it. She discovers some of the sleepers will never wake. It's a little more intense. But then we're also following investigator Rashid Finn, who's tasked with finding out who's responsible for what happened. A sinister mystery. A lot of people are saying this is like a thriller. This blurb says characters are fighting for their lives aboard a dying starship. This blurb says the setting is interstellar, but it feels as real, immediate, and lethal as today's headlines. So like all of these reasons are reasons that I wanted to pick it up. But most of it seems to be from Finn's perspective, and I'm just not like into it. I don't know if I can fully explain it. I'll get to page 100 and I'll decide from there if I can explain why I'm not liking it and try to justify my DNF, or, and hopefully this latter thing happens where I start to enjoy it more and want to continue past 100 pages. Reading update. It's not going well. Page 130 is where I'm stopping. Perhaps not permanently. I think I'll try again in the morning. Maybe there's something going on with like my ability to focus today, because I'm just not following. I really I don't understand anything that's really going on. I feel like we were dropped into so much and I'm just not into the writing style and how things are being described to me. I don't know why I didn't even consider why there's a wolf on the cover, and that was a big surprise. So I'm gonna try again in the morning. Like, I'm already probably 40% through this book, so it feels weird to abandon it now. But if I don't DNF it and it ends up with a low rating, I'm gonna wish that I had DNF'd it. This is confusing. Good morning. I know you're all gonna yell at me because I decided to power through the book and then I gave it 2 stars anyway. Listen, there were some interesting concepts, and this book is kind of a locked room mystery. It's inspired by an Edgar Allan Poe story. Locked room murder mystery set in space but not too spacey. Those are my buzzwords. Even in the author's note he was talking about how it's a space opera, but it's without massive space battles and empires and just about people living in the greater universe or something like that. And that sounds like something that I should like. But it was a really fast read, and I knew there were going to be some interesting conversations as far as colonization, and there were. I tabbed specifically chapter 24 for its entire explanation of planets and colonies and space travel, and how all the white people of Earth were disappointed by the success of these colonies on other planets, because it was the black population that went to that colony, and all of the racist people on Earth were like, yay, they're gone. I've said before again and again, the most success that a horror book can have for me, I know this isn't horror, but I've talked about it in the capacity of horror, that when you're pairing supernatural, fantastical, or science fiction elements with the horrors of reality and human beings, that's when books really work for me, because it's just so fucked up. And building that historical context within an SFF book is always just so interesting. I have seen some people call this horror, and there are some gory scenes, and it's scary for the characters, because we have 3 main characters. We have the captain of the ship, we have the investigator guy, and then we have a guy who used to work with the captain of the ship and is checking in on her. And then we also have the rogue AI situation, which I typically love. Seeing how an AI acts and behaves and feels like a person. Here's how I think I could have actually loved it. If it was written as a series of novellas. So we had Shell, and she just had maybe if you read this book just in the, not in order, but just read all of Shell's POV and then go back and read all of Finn's POV, because I love a multi-POV, but how quickly we went between them, and also how we would find out the same thing and there would be the same reveal or the same cliffhanger, but then we had to read it from all 3 different perspectives. I get what he was going for, I just didn't like it. I also just don't think everything matched up perfectly for me. like the world building with the characters how they actually act versus how we're told they're supposed to be. It was just all a bit messy for me. The mystery itself was not interesting. I did not care by the end of it, like who the murderer was, what was going to happen to them. I think I'll continue to pick up novellas from him, but not like full-length novels, because I just don't think the structure is something that I enjoyed. Anyway, today I am going to read Dune Messiah, and I'm going to try to film the few like 10 days of Lalamas, 12 days of La, whatever I'm calling it this year. There are a couple I think I can pre-film, so I'm gonna try to figure that out. Okay, welcome back to my little yellow toned corner. Do you want a book update? Do you want a life update? I don't have a life update, except that today I killed 4 spiders in my house, and I think my Christmas tree has an infestation. Update number 2. I ate a piece of bread today for the first time in probably legitimately 3 years, and there was mold in it, and now I'm really upset. Okay, I'm done. That's all. Dune Messiah, 5 stars. Not even because it's like this great, incredible book, but more so that I'm just lumping it together with Dune. This is basically just an extended epilogue or a bridge to the next book where we're following like other kind of characters. So this I am now, as I assumed I would, I'm just considering Dune and Dune Messiah the same thing, and it's all 5 stars, and I really like how the story wrapped up. The ending was perfect. I had feelings. That's it. If you want to know all my thoughts on Dune, here's a video where I read it and actually talk about it. I'm picking up Black Sun, which I was looking back on my last year's Christmas content. Why was I looking at it? Oh yeah, I was looking at it for like the Pantone video that I did, because I posted my little Pantone thing, and I wanted to grab a screen grab of when I put all the Pantones on the same page. And in that video I show my bookshelf of all the books I wanted to read at the end of 2020, and I didn't realize this was one of them. This has been on my TBR for a long time, and I just remembered I have the audiobook. It was a long time ago when I found all of those credits on Audible I didn't know I was paying for, and then I bought like a whole bunch of books. This was one of them. And it comes with a little PDF too, summed up right here anyway. So it's all of the characters, because there's so many different characters. And it seems like that we're following like a main character from each of these different places, because we started out in the Obreji Mountains following Serapio, who got his eyes sewn shut in the very first scene, which I did not like. And then we're also in the city of Kuakola, and we're following Chala, and she is a captain and sailor. And then we're also following Narampa, who is a watcher. And then it also says a sun priest, order of oracles, in the city of Tova. And there's different people like traveling to the city of Tova. I think Chala is being hired to take someone to the city of Tova. I haven't met any of these people yet. I don't want to get confused, so I'm going to take the audiobook really slow. And then later tonight I'll probably take a bath and take the physical book and see which I prefer. And then tomorrow I will continue with whichever method that I'm liking. I could have just read you the synopsis, which I think talks about all of these things. Oh, her passenger is the young man, blind, scarred, and cloaked in destiny. The series is inspired by the civilization of the pre-Columbian Americas and woven into a tale of celestial prophecy, political intrigue, and forbidden magic. I'm currently watching reading sprints on Mina's channel. I'm 100 pages in exactly, and it's going well.
I love Black Sun. I hope you're enjoying it if you've already started it.
I love the audiobook. It's not that I prefer reading it physically, but I find myself zoning out a little bit with the audiobook. So I'm preferring just currently reading it physically, though I would completely recommend the audio. I'm about 150 pages from the end at this point. I don't really have a lot to say about it. I think I think all the characters are really distinct, and we're at a point in the book where a lot of shifts are taking place. A lot of things are happening very quickly. I think it's going to be a wild last 150 pages, but yeah, loving the characters. I think I'm following relatively well. And then I got halfway through feminist theory, and then I went on Twitter distracting myself from reading and found out that Bell Hooks passed away like yesterday as I was reading her book, which is so sad. This is fantastic. I thought that it would be a little bit dense as far as something to recommend as an introduction to feminist books if you've never read one, but I don't feel that way at all. I think this is a fantastic introduction. In fact, it's doing a lot, having a lot of conversations that I have read in other books, but I think that the last half has the potential to introduce like new concepts and go further with my understanding of lots of conversations. So these are both going well, and I'm hoping to complete them. No, I'm completing this one in the next vlog because I just realized that time-wise, I'm supposed to wrap up this whole video tomorrow. So I need to finish this tonight and read the entirety of A Snake Falls to Earth. I'm obviously not going to push myself. Like, I'm never in a race when it comes to my reading. If I feel like taking it slow and extending the vlog, I will. But like, the goal in my head was to have this vlog up on Saturday. So I need to complete the vlog Friday. Anyway, Rob picked up something, grabbed us each a gingerbread house making kit, and we're going to be doing a members live video where we get drunk, do a Q&A, and have a gingerbread building competition. So that's going down on December 23rd, probably pretty late, like 9 p.m. PST. And then I'm going to film it as well as being live, so the footage of the Q&A will be in next week's vlog. So don't worry, you're not missing out. I just feel like it'll be easier to get through comments in that state if there are less of them. And if you want to leave your questions down below, then I will take some from the comments here. And if you want to attend the live show, then the link to my membership will be down below. And I just thought it would be a fun thing to do live as well as filming. So we'll see how that goes in tandem. I don't know. The boys are off watching Spider-Man, and I'm home alone with not a lot to do, except I've been working on my end of year content, but I'm gonna leave that alone for now and focus, really hone in on my reading since I have the time and the ability. That's what I'll be up to. Okay, I don't want to frighten any children, so prepare yourselves for my thick, chunky face mask. Big Shrek vibes. Those bath bombs that you saw in my bath clip are from Lush, and they always give you like a free sample, and they gave me this amazing smelling power mask is what it's called, and it just feels great. I finished Black Sun. It's so late. I feel like there are quite a few things in the book I don't fully grasp, and I don't know if that's a me thing and a lack of experience with high fantasy thing, or just like the first book in a series thing, and we're gonna get more in future books. I also don't have the vocabulary to discuss high fantasy, I feel, so I don't even know how to talk to you about like what all happened in here or the things that I think were successful. I'm giving it a 4. That's all I know. I think I'm picking up the next book because wow, did this leave on a cliffhanger with a bang. It's not getting a 5 because way too much happened way too fast. I didn't have any time to like sit and digest what was going on because the book is so much lead up. There's a countdown. I love a countdown. All these different POVs. Loved how often we switched. We got a couple newer characters towards the end, and then it just started to be a little too much because we're building to so much, and then like a lot happens, but a lot doesn't happen. And now I need to continue to know like the full circle of all of these characters' experiences. There was a romance I liked, there was a romance I didn't like, there were characters I was on board for from the very beginning. Shala is like my favorite. Narampa I started to like halfway through. There's something that happens, and then I enjoyed that perspective. Sarampo is definitely the most fascinating character. I definitely just wanted more of his like backstory, his mother's backstory, and I wonder if future books are going to be more history or if it's all going to just be a linear storyline. Because there are definitely, even Narompa's past, I want to understand more. I feel like this is a big book about loneliness and finding like where you belong and finding your people amongst all of the POVs. There was a running theme and I really liked that. Anyway, I'm gonna wash this off now. I'm gonna go to sleep and that's it. Good morning, friends. Look at my chandelier. I put ornaments on it. And all of the snowflakes fell out of my window, so I'm bummed about that. My day's not going great. My read's not going great, but I think I can turn it around if there's some book mail. I love this combo. Okay, let's go. Well, I was definitely hoping more would show up, but a lot of the mail is just stuck right now because of the floods. I've talked about it before. I still have a lot of Christmas presents on the way and certain things that I need to like wrap all of the presents, which is what I was hoping to do this weekend. But it's Friday, so all the mail is done and I have what I have. It's also Liam's last day of school, so he's very excited to come home and have 2 weeks off. And I've been taking it easy this week and feeling guilty for taking it easy, but I just know that the next week is going to be so chaotic that it felt right. But I've just been so, you've seen it, I've just been lying in bed. I've been in my robe. I have been getting stuff done, but like things that aren't interesting to vlog. Anyway, I opened this one off camera because I knew it was unsolicited and I don't show unsolicited books, but now I feel really bad. Not because it's something that I have even heard about, but because I opened it and there's no book. The poor people from Macmillan sent me this, I mean, beautiful marketing package. I don't think I blended my contour very well. And there's lots of little things in it, and like maybe they just wanted to send me the accessories, but I doubt it. This is one that I ordered, and I should probably save it for my book haul, but it's Kill Creek. I really want to read Kill Creek. I'm just getting so hyped. I've been getting hyped at the idea of reading Kill Creek. So, and then the other mail I got are presents, which I can't show you, but if I do my wrapping in the next vlog, I guess I will be doing my wrapping in the next vlog, I will show you what some of these are, because that vlog will be going up like midnight Christmas Eve, so that should be fine. Oh, this is not what I thought it was. Oh shit, that means Rob's Christmas present is not here. Yikes. Okay, but you know what's here? Present I bought myself. I shopped almost exclusively on Etsy this year for Christmas presents, and of course I saw things that I just wanted, so I got this little like bobble candle for myself. I just stuck that right up my nostrils and it doesn't smell like anything. Well, maybe this one isn't a present either. While I open it, I'll tell you about A Snake Falls to Earth. I'm 1/3 of the way through. I found a little snake bookmark. That's not a snake. What the fuck is that? Do I have one with a snake? I swear I have one with a snake. That's embarrassing. What is this? Like a chicken dragon peacock creature? Somebody tell me what this is. Anyway, I just lost my spot now. As my last read for this vlog and my most anticipated, I thought we'd be ending on a bang, but I'm not really enjoying it yet. We're following a girl and a snake boy, and I'm now remembering a bit of the synopsis. Nina is a Lipan girl in our world. Ollie is a cottonmouth kid from the land of spirits and monsters. He's been cast from home and has to like find a new place to live, and it's just like a lot of my life as a snake vibes, and I don't know if I quite love it yet. We were talking in the House on Needless Street live show, like books from animal perspectives, and if we liked them, if we had any to recommend, and I don't think I had an answer then, and I don't know that I have an answer now. I don't know where it's gonna go as far as, this tape is unreal. I just don't know what to expect from the story. It's feeling very middle grade at this point, which is fine. Oh, this is stupid and you'll judge me for it, but it's like dried oranges. Kayla, can you just dry oranges yourself? For sure. Listen, I was having a field day on Etsy. I'm gonna keep reading this. There's the snake. There's the girl. Still obsessed with the cover. And I'm very interested to see where this goes. Like, I wouldn't say I'm loving it right now, but I am definitely interested in the direction that we're heading because I don't know what to expect. Also, Erin messaged me and said, look at the end pages because it's like snake skin and you can barely see it, but it's so cool. Levine Querido really is doing quality books. Like, their books always feel like so much thought went into the packaging, the design, like every little detail. I think this is Chronicle Books. Yeah, so maybe it's partially related to, because this is distributed by Chronicle Books. I don't understand anything about publishing, but Chronicle Books also makes some of my favorite reading journals that are also like very high quality and just nice to feel and hold and write in and read. So that's my biggest compliment of this book so far. Jesus Christ, it's nice to hold. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, tonight I'm doing reading sprints again. So I have Lexi and Gavin on, and I'm ready to get back into this. I pretty much wasted my day, but I'm ready to go now.
Isn't that one? I think it's that one. Yeah.
It's that. That's the only Marie Antoinette movie I've seen, and I know it's totally inaccurate, but oh my gosh, do I love it.
I'm balancing you on a snow globe. Hope you're okay with that. I lost my bookmark. I'm almost done with this. It's fine. I don't know why this vlog isn't going great. Like, I want to read something that's just so amazing and makes it into my favorites, but we're not there. This is such a wholesome read. It's sweet, it's nice. I don't want to say it's middle grade because I get that you can have a story like this and it doesn't have to be for a young audience. It just feels very young. Like, would 100% read this to Liam. Should have read this with Liam. I would recommend it for those who like middle grade stories. It's almost a middle grade like adventure story, but it's too slow to really consider it that. But it's about like friendship and just helping people, and we have two really just nice characters. What I'm loving is the storytelling. I love that about Alatsue as well. We have oh my god, what is her name? Nina. We have her grandmother, and there's a lot about language in here, and her grandma has stories, but she can't understand them, and she's trying to like decipher these stories. And then Ollie just is a snake and wants to have naps in the sun. I wasn't expecting the casual ace rep, which I really appreciate, also seen in Alatsue. What I wasn't expecting is I didn't know we'd have like shape-shifting stuff. I'm not captivated at this point, but I'm excited to wrap it up. I just remembered that I threatened you to subscribe last time, and we need to check in on that. Basically, I said a year ago in that vlog, only like less than 2% of the people who weren't subscribed, who were watching, clicked subscribe, and I think it was like, was it 13% of my viewership was not subscribers, and I wanted to increase both of those numbers. For what reason? Don't know. I was just in a silly goofy mood. So I told you to subscribe, and we'll see if you listened. Let's check the data. In the first like 3 days, we got 15,200 people who viewed. 85 people subscribed. 12% of the viewers are not subscribers, and 85 people subscribed. So 85 is what percentage of 1,824, which is how many people weren't subscribed. That's 4.6. Okay, that's not 5%. The goal was 5%, but for no real reason. That's more than twice the success of last time. So asking you to subscribe gets twice the results of not asking. So please, won't you subscribe? It's funny, TikTok keeps giving me these compilations of like the most wholesome streamers, and it'll be this compilation of people being like, oh my gosh, thank you for all these subs, like you don't have to. There was even this one that was like, how can I give the money back, like this is too much. And I was watching it and I was like, wow, you're really not that bitch. Like, wow. You're like yelling at people to subscribe to you. You're just not that gracious, humble girl. Wow. Okay. But you know what? Now you know who you're subscribed to, if you didn't already know. I made dinner. Power went out, so all my times are different because I don't ever fix them. And I'm gonna finish this. One last check-in and we'll be done week 2. I'm giving this 3 stars. I thought it was nice. I thought it was good. I really like Darcy Little Badger's writing, and I'll continue to pick up everything from her. It just wasn't everything that I was looking for. I still think this will work for a lot of people, and it's absolutely beautiful. These characters are super memorable. I feel like every year I read a book where I didn't give the book 5 stars, like Project Hail Mary, where the characters are so distinct that I will think about them for a long time. Super well developed, distinct personalities, strong POVs. Just the plot and the pace wasn't absolutely perfect, which is fine. Overall, here's everything I read. It's not a very festive colored stack. RIP to my thumbnail goals. We had a 5 star. We had a 4 star. We had a 3 star, a 2.5 star, and a 2 star. Does that feel good to me? No, because even though I gave out a 5 star, it's not one that I feel very strongly about. And Black Sun, the more I think about it, the more like an objective 4 star it is. I think that as I was talking about it, you could tell it wasn't something that I was like super passionate about. But it's such a good story. I'm hoping that this is the flop of like this whole series, because the first one was good. Everything in it was 5 and 4 stars. And this one was a mix of everything, but like I had some 2 stars. So I think this has to be the flop, and that means the third video where I read mystery and horror things, it's either going to be the in-between and the first one I did is the amazing one, or it's going to become the amazing one. It's all going to be 5 stars. It could happen. We'll see. I'm also halfway through Feminist Theory, but I really like the idea that the first time I had 5 books, this time I read 5 books. And if we include Feminist Theory in the third vlog, there's 5 books in that one too. At least I hope I'll get to all 5. That's going to be the shortest vlog of all of them as far as how many days I've allotted. I'm going to try and do better of actually explaining the books and my thoughts in the next one. This week I was a little off. And so were the books. So, it's bound to happen. And I will see you next week. I don't know if anything's coming out in between now and then. Probably not. So, tune in next time for me and you hanging out. Christmas, holiday vibes. Woo!